Jack Thunder and the Dawn of Unity. Chapter 19. Family Reunion. It didn't take the crew long to return to the caverns of Challenge. Though the mountains were scuffed up from the recent attack, they still stood strong. Just outside one of the caves, Stephanie could see the squadron that rescued her, standing and gazing up at their riding cloud. She waved at them. A sigh of relief passed through the crowd as they realized she was safe. At last they touched down. Stephanie hopped off the cloud just as it disappeared. She turned around to face Jack Thunder. "Well, I guess this is goodbye. Time for me to go back to school." Stephanie's face fell. "Wait a minute," Shadowpaws chimed in. "How are we gonna send Stephanie home? Is the portal still in there?" "It was when we came out here," one of the officers responded. "It should still be in there, I think." So once again, the 6 young champions, Son, Frosty, and the squadron made their way back inside. Jack Thunder was surprised the rainbow he made was still there. It shimmered dimly despite the darkness surrounding them. "Well, that's just great," one of the officers complained from inside the chamber. "The portal's gone. How are we supposed to get back to Earth?" "Now wait a minute," Son directed. "I've got an idea. Officer Gerard, do you have that air crystal you found at Stephanie's house?" "No, but I do," a lone voice called from the crowd. The squadron parted, letting Detective Samwell pass through. The nervous young man held the shimmering aqua prism in his hand. "Oh, are you the Detective Samwell that Officer Gerard here told me about?" Son cocked his head at the strange man. "That is me, yes." Samwell dusted himself off. He handed Son the air crystal. "Good. What are you going to do?" one of the officers asked Son. "Hold on and you'll see." Son closed his eyes. After a brief pause, he recited a short rhyme. "As certain as the winter's rime, send her home until next time." The darkness gave way to swirls of blue and green as a magical doorway opened. Through it, the officers could see the inside of the police station from where they came. It was time for Stephanie to go home. She turned back to Jack Thunder and his friends. "Thank you guys, for everything." "Hey, since the portal's opened again, you'll have to come back and see us again sometime," Saturn exclaimed. "Saturn, I think Stephanie's family is worried enough about her as is," Son admonished the Valkyrie. Stephanie chuckled. "Heh. Yeah, Mom's gonna kill me for sure. How long have I been gone?" "About 2 months," Officer Gerard responded. 2 months? Stephanie had only stayed in Alterus for a week. "Guess we shouldn't waste any more time then," Son concluded. He gave Stephanie a warm smile. "Take care, all right?" "I will," she promised. "All right, we've waited long enough," Officer Gerard interrupted. "Time to get this case closed." He and his comrades leapt back through the portal, Stephanie in tow. The portal sealed behind them with a brilliant flash of light, giving way to the dimness of the chamber. At last, it was over. Jack Thunder and the crew made their way out of the caverns. As the cool night air graced their skin, Saturn shouted and pointed up at the sky. "Hey everyone, look!" Even Son and Frosty halted. Just overhead, streaking across the starry night sky, was a shining rainbow of 6 colors. Red for fire, yellow for light, green for earth, blue for air, indigo for water, and violet for darkness. Nemesis soared across the sky, the cascade of color trailing from its wings. The Wendigo General No More had decided to show its thanks to the young heroes through this spectacular display. As it disappeared beyond the horizon, the rainbow remained, glittering and sparkling like so many diamonds. Frosty leaned against San. Lovely, isn't it? San couldn't agree more. Later that evening, San went into the living room, snagging Stormbringer from its place leaning on the couch. He just needed it for a second. The Tengu concentrated on the crystal in the center of the staff. Once again, colors and shapes took form inside of it. Slowly, an image took shape. It was another news broadcast from Stephanie's hometown. And now, some good news. It has been reported that Stephanie Granger, who went missing 2 months ago this very day, has been found safe. San breathed a sigh of relief. She was home. Her mother nearly had a heart attack when the police squadron showed up at her door, but seeing her daughter alive and well lifted the worst of her fears. I don't even know what happened. She just disappeared from her room. Then 2 whole months later, she comes back with a nasty cut on her thigh, rambling about this place called Alterus. I don't know if she hit her head or something, but the police said the same thing. Mrs. Granger explained to the cameras. I don't know, maybe this Alterus place actually exists. Or maybe everyone is just crazy. San had to chuckle at that. At this time, it is unclear what happened. There are currently no suspects for Stephanie Granger's disappearance, and Miss Granger herself has not named anyone. Given the strange nature of her claims, many in this public sphere have come up with their own explanations. A flurry of interviewees flooded the screen, each with their own theories. Some thought she had been on something and got lost. Some thought she was kidnapped from her room. One even thought she was abducted by aliens. They turned back to the reporter. Well, as it stands right now, we may never really know what happened to young Stephanie Granger these past 2 months. Mr. San? What are you doing there? San turned to see Jack Thunder staring at him. The storm gremlin held a mug of chamomile tea in his hands. Just making sure Stephanie's safe, Jack. Here. Do you want to see? The storm gremlin nodded. The two of them watched the rest of the broadcast together as the autumn rain poured outside. Stephanie lay in her bed, listening to the late evening thunder. It reminded her so much of Tempest Island and the storm gremlin she'd met there. She couldn't stop thinking about what had happened that day. After the police brought her back to her house, her mom practically flipped out. Stephanie's ears still rung from all the yelling. She tried to explain to her mom what had happened. About Alterus, about Jack Thunder and his friends, about the caverns of challenge with their colorful glowing gemstones, even about Mr. Twitchett and Ivy Butternut. But try as she might, her mom was not having it. Not even when Officer Gerard vouched for her. She must think we've all lost our minds, Stephanie mused to herself. She wasn't sure she hadn't lost her mind. Something glistened in the corner of Stephanie's eye. A small gemstone, throbbing with energy and cascading with cyan light, rested atop her dresser. She picked it up. Is this really? It bore an uncanny resemblance to the air crystals she and Jack Thunder collected on Mount Tempest. She could even see swirling clouds and bolts of lightning dance across the surface. Underneath it was a simple poem, scrawled on paper. Stephanie read, "As certain as the summer rain, Alterus I come again." Did Jack Thunder write this? He didn't seem like the kind of guy to write poetry. She flipped the paper over. Just in case you ever want to see Alterus again, San. So it wasn't all a dream. Stephanie rubbed her eyes. She could try it out sometime. Right now, all she wanted to do was sleep. Stephanie rested her head back on the pillow. As she drifted off, the storm outside drew to a close. All that was left was a chorus of crickets and frogs, singing throughout the night.